That was it.
Caught up. So the Why You Laughing thing, that reminded me. I listened to that top 50, the KMS top 50 show.
Mm-hmm.
And they have their argument, each said their piece, me versus Steve, 2 versus 3. And I don't have a dog in the fight either way. I'm fine if I'm third or second. I'd like to be second, understand if I'm third. But Andrew Augustus, in an attempt to put me second, this was his championing of me.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Mayo gives a good pitch for me, and Andrew Augustus says, yeah, you really got to say Why You Laughing has added a lot to KMS over the years.
Oh, no. I have not listened to
And he was being serious.
I believe you.
It wasn't like him shitting on why. He was like, yeah, the content that Why You Laughing has provided for Kirk. It was like, what are you talking about? Here's what it's provided. As Kirk says, what's going on blindmike.net this week? And I say, we got an episode of Why You Laughing.
More or less.
That's the content it's provided.
Quincy is Kirk's favorite thing to talk about, it seems like, in that plug.
Quincy has provided more than Why You Laughing.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about that.
Sam Fujiyama call was funny.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
I didn't even understand what his point was.
Didn't have one.
Yeah, but that does remind me to let you guys know to go to blindmike.net if you wouldn't mind. That is where you can find Why You Laughing and all the content that it provides for every other show. Mm-hmm. Andrew Dice Clay episode is up this week. Norm McDonald's me doing stand-up will be up on Thursday. Or it's already up on Patreon if you subscribe to the Patreon or you're a YouTube member. To be a YouTube member, you do have to subscribe on YouTube. I know that's confusing for people. Or you can just subscribe on Patreon, whichever. We appreciate both very much. And when I say appreciate, I mean we appreciate. As much as I appreciate Craig, I appreciate all of you. All right? So go to blindmike.net. That's where you find all the free links for this show, as well as Who Are These Socials and Why You Laughing. If you'd rather support the show for free, we appreciate that too. And if you want those bonus episodes and early episodes, join the Patreon. All right?
Hackride says, turn on gifted memberships. We're doing that now. I think that already began last show, I believe. I do believe.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Oh, Hackride still likes the show? That's good.
Yeah, he's in there. He's having a tough time.
I appreciate it. Well, thoughts and prayers are with Hackride. I hope he's doing okay.
Did you get through the Hackride and Craig Blind Mike Project episode?
Yeah, and I was happy to upload it.
Because I got to be honest, it came out exactly like I wanted it to.
Sure. And I'll tell you, what's funny about everything that's happened with Hackride is like he delayed that coming out for free.
Did he?
It was going to be up yesterday. And then I was like, I guess I have to talk about this, so I'll put it out on Sunday.
Okay.
So the show that you and Hackride did, so I guess we'll get into it now.
Yep.
Timestamp this correctly, because I'm sure some people will want to skip through it. But so a couple weeks ago, I said to you and Hackride, hey, if you want. I thought I made this clear. Maybe I didn't.
Yeah.
You tell me, Craig. Did I make it seem like something you had to do?
No.
Okay. I said, if you guys want, the world is your oyster. Do a show together, whatever the fuck you want it to be, and I'll put it on Patreon.
I think we both, you definitely made it seem like it wasn't something we had to, but I think we both wanted to, just because that makes the most sense.
What? You wanted to?
Yeah.
I thought I made you.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I don't think I know the full extent of the conversation.
Well, that's crazy to me, because I thought I made you guys do it. I thought you were doing me a favor, which I appreciate very much. I appreciate the favor.
Yes.
So I said, if you guys want to do a show, you can. Now,
also, it is also recorded on the last show that we did that you said, if you want. I'm almost positive.
Well, some of the mind games that I play, maybe I felt like, I subliminally forced you into it. By me saying, if you want to, that's me saying, I'm making you do it. Perhaps that's what happened.
That makes more sense, yes.
So yeah, I thought it'd be nice. And here's my logic:
Mhm.
is you guys do a lot for the show, which I appreciate, and I'm not joking about that. That's serious. And I said, if you want to do a show, like promote your own shit, feel free. I thought that was nice of me, I guess. I don't know. I thought it was fine. I didn't really think anything of it, to be honest. I just thought it was something I was doing that you could take me up on or not do. That's what I thought. And it sounds like, so would you care to explain to the people what the show actually was?
So if you've seen Tim and Eric Awesome Show,
Which is up on, this is up on Patreon now, by the way. I know, listen,
yeah.
I know only assholes subscribe to my Patreon. So to you people, you don't have eyeballs worthy of showing something to.
Hackride says this is like watching your ex-girlfriend telling everyone why you're a piece of shit. That's very funny.
No, I appreciate everyone.
But we had David Liebhart from Tim and Eric Awesome Show. He's the really terrible ventriloquist that's on there. And he's like a Navy veteran and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. He was gonna come on. We were gonna have him do the show like we're doing right now. But Hackride met him on some boardwalk near where he lives. So he ended up having him come to his house.
Okay.
So David Liebhart's in Hackride's kitchen for this interview.
Oh, was he? I listened to the audio version.
Yeah. So no, I said, I know it doesn't matter for you, but even when I posted the audio, I said I can't stress enough how important video is for this episode. Yeah. So this guy, he's tapped, so fucking tapped. He's the worst ventriloquist of all time. And me and Hackride are trying to coordinate times. And he goes, yeah, he just texted me that he's in the Uber. He's already asking me to make him a sandwich.
So this sounds funny to me. And what I knew would happen, I guess I'm an asshole for this. What I knew would happen is people on the Patreon would find it weird and interesting. Now, according to the comments that all say, hey, this is really weird and interesting, maybe I was wrong. But
all the comments were exactly what I wanted. Someone commented.
Me too, Craig, as a matter of fact. It's weird how that worked out like that.
There's one comment, I forget who made it, but they said this episode is like having sleep paralysis. I went, perfect.
Yeah, and most of it was like, I don't know what this is, but I can't look away. That sort of thing. Now, some of it was like, I tapped out after 5 minutes. I don't get it. I think that's also fine. I don't have a problem with that.
You started getting him defending Bill Cosby and then talking about wanting to do stuff similar to him to some other people. It was really fucking weird.
The people that were gonna like it liked it. And I think the Patreon is a good test for that, because I think overall people on the Patreon are incredibly supportive. Right. We have very few negative comments, and when we do get them, they're probably deserved. But like the people on Patreon, that's the supportive group. I think those are the people you show something weird like that to be like, hey guys, what do you think? Something we should release for free maybe? And when you get enough positive feedback, you say, yeah, let the rest of the world see this. That's kind of how I looked at it. Maybe I'm a dickhead for thinking that way.
But yeah, it was great. And then we had to heavily edit it, because if you do watch, he doesn't shut up. He does not stop talking.
Okay.
So, like, we would have to mute him, and then we were talking over him, and we were getting him to sing some of his songs that were all terrible.
Yeah. So another reason to put this on,
Heidecker a racist, which was interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So, to get this, another thing I thought it would be good to put on the Patreon is we're talking about it now. We're promoting it to people. Maybe a few more people support the Patreon, and it seems like everyone's very annoyed that they do free work. So hopefully if I grow this thing big enough, I can pay people. That would also be nice. That would be incentive to drive people to the Patreon, I would think.
Right.
So I said, I originally thought I'll leave this on Patreon, and maybe down the road sometime we release it on YouTube. Hackride reached out to me and said, hey, I put a lot of work into this. Is there any chance we could put it on YouTube later? I said, absolutely. That's where I thought this all ended. Then throughout the week, he messages me a couple more times and says, "Hey, so this is going to be on YouTube, right?" And I said, "Well, Patreon first, but then definitely I'll put it on YouTube later." And then he'll message me again, almost as if I didn't speak to him already, and say like, "So when's this come out on YouTube?" And I would say like, either Friday or Sunday, but again, it's going to be on Patreon first.
Which
I felt 4 warnings was enough that it was going to be on Patreon first.
Every show is Patreon first, except for
that's the other thing. Every show I put out, except for that we're live on YouTube right now, but like every Why You Laughing is Patreon first. Oh, that's kind of the business model. If they want it early, you can go to the Patreon. That's how I try to make a few dollars. Hopefully, I can have a staff someday.
Hackride is a genius evil artist. That's why you have to have his brain the way it is, because if it wasn't, we wouldn't get the shit he gives us.
Well, I agree. And this is the thing. I like Hackride. He gets into these arguments with me. I like him and support him, and everything he asks me, I'm happy to do. That's why I don't know why I'm the bad guy in this situation.
Yeah, I was talking to him on the phone, and I didn't fully understand what was happening, but I'm like, everything's fine.
I have no problem. I've never had an issue with the guy. When he gives me attitude, I reciprocate. When he talks to me like I'm an asshole, I have no choice but to reciprocate, just to preserve some semblance of masculinity.
You guys fighting is always funny, though.
Well, that's the other thing. Is like part of me knows that, which is why I never get that mad. But this did annoy me,
right?
Because I'm also on vacation. I have to deal with this while I'm away. I'm trying to enjoy my vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And I get a message on Sunday, like the minute it drops on Patreon, just berating me, saying how well, I won't get too specific, I guess, but like kind of shitting on the Patreon. That is how I took it, which is offensive to me personally. Like that's my thing. So you're kind of saying like the Patreon isn't good enough for me, which I was insulted by. And then talking about the amount of work he put into it that I wasn't respecting, like all this free work. And he kind of said he was like doing me a favor. And I was like, again, Hackride, like all this shit, I appreciate all this shit. If it's ever a point where you can't do it, I don't even mean this interview. I mean like the clips. If you ever say, hey, like this week I can't do the clips or I can't get to the thumbnails or whatever, have I ever been like, fuck you? Have I ever pretended this is your job or your obligation? Have I done that with you, Craig, ever?
No. Hackride says, honestly, I was just mad that you were only a few hours away, but didn't want to come see me. How dare you?
See, that's where he always wins me back. His charm.
Watching him,
he knows how to butter me up.
I gotta be honest. Watching him work, like behind the scenes, he is an evil genius.
I think he's a very talented guy. Why would I deal with all of this if I didn't think he added a lot to the show?
No, I know. But the funniest part of that show that we did is that guy, he was going through some weird split personality moment where he couldn't get out of pretending to be some like old English lady. So Hackride, you see him just take a deep breath. He gets up and he walks into his kitchen and he's in the other screen now. And he's like, David! And he gets him to stop talking. And then he turns around and walks. As soon as he comes off his screen, I go, can you tell me some more about this old English lady? And the guy starts babbling again. As he's getting so fucking mad. So I probably didn't help either.
Well, that's the thing is I like that shit. And even the stuff I don't get, like I like. I understand people like it, so I like putting it out, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm getting this message, like, just calling me an asshole for putting it on Patreon. I was like, Hackride, it's coming out on YouTube later. Like, he's telling me how disrespectful I'm being and everything, and I was like, it's gonna be on YouTube. What is the issue?
Oh yeah, that was the name. Thank you, Box Eating Dad. The guy thought his other alter ego is Jolly Old English was the name. He's like a jolly old English, and he just wouldn't shut up.
Yes, I heard that. So, no, I think I think I didn't even really want it. I think I said to you before the show, I might not even talk about it because I think Hackride's going through a tough time. Everyone, be nice to Hackride, for God's sake. Tell him how much you love him. Tell him how great his work is. And that I was being facetious earlier, but that I'm being serious about. Everyone, if you like Hackride, let him know. Because I think he's at a tough week, sort of, which is why he lashed out at me.
Yeah, spread the love to
But I was just like, what's happening?
He's going through it. I saw the key.
And then I also didn't get. This is why I was a little annoyed. Is like he did an apology on Puzzle Box. Go watch Puzzle Box because here's Charlie Brown kicking the football again. I'll promote him. On Puzzle, but he sent me he apologized to me, but the whole time I thought he was like insulting me. He kept saying like, "Oh, Mike's swole," which I assume is like like he's calling me fat, right?
Swole means strong, buff.
I understand that, but I don't think he was being serious. I don't think he was complimenting my body.
I have not heard it yet. It is. I just downloaded it this morning, actually.
I don't know. I didn't know how to take it, but this is the thing: is like I like Hackride. I have to go out of my way to like this man, because he doesn't want me to like him for some reason, and yet I still do.
He says, "Watch Puzzle Box for a 10-minute apology to Blind Mike."
Well, I appreciate it. So I think we're back to being good, and that will be out tomorrow now. What this did was delay the premiere of what's the gentleman's name?
David Liebhart.
David Liebhart, yes. The interview with David Liebhart. That'll be out tomorrow in the regular Blind Mike Project time. That'll be out at 10. Which I hope that's good enough.
Yes. And it's on. It'll be on YouTube and I guess Patreon. I can make free wherever you feel like going. Go watch it on the Patreon.
He kept saying, well, Craig said it'll be on YouTube and Patreon, which I took to mean YouTube members and Patreon. Is what
correct.
Tried to
which
say.
I might not have explained that part to him.
Okay, but why would we put it on Patreon if it was out for free? Would be my question.
That's a good question.
You know what I mean? But yes, this is posted on Patreon right now, right?
This is posted on Patreon, yep.
But it's not a Patreon episode because
it's not. It's just because there was one time I didn't post the link to a free show on Patreon, and everyone crushed me for it. So
as they should.
Yes.
As they should.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I thought everyone on Patreon was very supportive of it and seemed to like it. So hopefully you guys. Hey, you know what? You know where everyone's always very supportive is YouTube.
Yeah.
The YouTube comment section, they always get what you're going for. So hopefully tomorrow it gets rave reviews the way it did on Patreon.
Right. I'm curious. I'm actually stunned. I was stunned by the reaction being exactly what we were going for.
Yeah.
Like never happens.
I think that's what happens on Patreon a lot, though. Those are the supportive people.
That's
true.
You're
going to get it anywhere. Yeah. On YouTube, what you get a lot is like, it's people that clearly don't watch the show and saw what the title was or something. And they're like, look at this guy pretending he's not jealous of Matt Rife. And I'm like, I explained it. You're not listening.
I am jealous.
That was the whole thing.
Deep down.
Right. So everything's good, right? Now, am I going to sign off this show and have another threatening message sent that to me?
I mean, probably, but that would be normally anyways.
I feel like we've gotten to a good place finally, but who knows?
Hackride's the best.
Is he though?
Yeah, he's fucking a delightful psychopath.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like when I spoke to the real guy, I was like, oh, he's a regular dude. Maybe now that I know the man, he'll be gentler.
Dude, I still read his texts in Hackride voice in my head.
Yeah. You have to.